Okay, today we're going to talk about the bow mount trolling motor. I've been running this one right here for about a year now, and I've kind of got it figured out, the ins and outs, and beating and banging it around and breaking some stuff so you don't have to. I've simplified the wiring down so it's all through the hull. There's no wires on top. I made pigtails for the trolling motor and the battery. So when you pull the battery out, there's no more wing nuts or anything like that, or wires hanging in your kayak while you're going down the road or trying to store it on top of your vehicle or load it in the back of your truck. There's nothing to hang up or grab onto or let water in or anything like that. I'm running a Motor Guide XI3. You don't have to do that. I know they don't make the XI3 anymore, but how I got my hands on this one, just a quick little story here. I found a guy on Marketplace that was selling an entire kayak, and he had an XI3 on the front. So I just hit the dude up. I'm like, hey, I don't really want the whole kayak, but how much would you swing that XI3 for? And we made a deal and made it work out. And so that's how I ended up with this one. We're going to get to a few things. I'm running it on a one objective bow mount. They make a mount for just about any kayak you could possibly think of. From Old Town to Hobie to Bonafide to you name it. If you have the kayak, they probably make a bow mount for it. After we go through the review of how I installed it, the wiring, plugs I use, pigtails I made, lights I use, that's kind of a good one. I'll bring that up. The lighting, you do not have to wire lights into your kayak, especially if you're like me and you're just fishing for an hour low light in the morning and maybe an hour in the afternoon. I'm not wiring in bow lights for the 2 hours I might use a day. So yeah, let's get right into it. Let me get this off of here and we'll check it out. So this is the one objective bow mount plate. Very simple install. One bolt goes through the front where your drain plug is on the Old Town at least. And then you only have to drill one hole right here, and it tucks underneath the factory grab handle. You still get another grab handle up here. Really easy, really simple install. This Motor Guide quick release bracket, puck, just bolts right on top of that. Very simple. Now right here, you should see a Anderson style plug. I got these on Amazon. Looks really nice, fits in this channel perfect. And then it's got a cover on it, so you just pop that up, plug your bow mount trolling motor in there, and you're good to go. When you're done, unplug that pigtail, shut it. It's like it's not even there. All the rest of your wiring should go through the inner gunnel of your kayak. Back here, a very similar situation. That was on the bow, this is on the stern. This is where my battery's gonna sit in this tank well. And the similar situation, I'm gonna cut it open. It's got a cover. You flip that open, your Anderson plug is right there. I made a pigtail, so you don't have to mess with wing nuts on top of your battery and taking them on and off and dropping them and not being able to find them, and then that kind of wrecks your whole effing day. So you just unplug that. These plugs only go in one way and they only come out one way. So you just plug them in and you're good to go. It should look similar to this. You got your battery in there, your pigtail you built that comes off, and it just plugs. Oh, it's hard to get in there, but it only goes in one way. You'll hear it in a second. Hold on, I'll shut up. Snaps in there. It's not coming out. It's rock solid right there. When you're done with it, you just unplug it, shut that. It's like it's not even there. Inside the kayak, oh, let me open this up. Right down in there is my 60 amp hour or 60 amp circuit breaker. And that sits in the back half of the kayak. Public service announcement. Stop putting the circuit breaker up by the trolling motor. If you get a short anywhere behind the bow, your circuit breaker is not going to trip. Put it as close to the battery as physically possible. Or, well, if you're me, what looks good. So I didn't want mine hanging out anywhere or on top of the battery, so I tucked mine right down in there. So when I have everything shut, give me just a second here. Little Blair Witch Project camera action. I don't have a camera person. Somebody should really do that for me. That'd be awesome. Let me shut that. There we go. So it should look like this. When everything's off of there, you should see no wiring. It should be all inside the kayak, and all your plugs are capped off. It's like it's not even there. And then another little public service announcement. Do not zip tie your graph wiring to your trolling motor wiring. You'll get, what is the word I'm looking for? You'll get magnetic interference. There we go. You get magnetic interference. So when you're hard on that trolling motor, your graph's going to run like shit. So what I recommend is I run all my trolling motor stuff on the left-hand side of the kayak. And then if you look down at my hatch, never mind how messy it is, all my graph stuff goes down the right side of my kayak and pops out right there. To try to reduce as much magnetic interference as possible. Now that we got the wiring stuff out of the way, the boring stuff, let's do the fun stuff. Let's put it on there. Install this to mount it on the front, taking it in and out of your truck or whatever you got. Very easy with the quick release puck. See that indent there? And then you have the puck on there. You just line those up, locks in. And then you take this guy right here, pin, slide it through the holes, push it all the way through, and it's not going anywhere. Now, for how I deploy and pull it back up, I don't get too crazy. This is just a piece of paracord with a universal handle, and it is just tied to the neck of this, I guess you'd call it, the shaft. It's tied to the shaft. Careful. But yes, it's tied to its shaft. And that's all that is. And you throw it down in there. For my foot pedal deployment and releasing, very, very fancy. Broken screwdriver handle. Paracord. Really tiny carabiner. That just goes right underneath this handle. Maybe. I normally don't have it on there when I do this. Goes right up through this handle and clips to a little eyelet right on the foot pedal. So all you gotta do, this is really uncomfortable because my kayak's on my trailer, is pull this handle, and that releases the foot pedal, and then that lets it fall. And then when you want to pull it back up, just release it, pull it back up, and locks right in position. And if that wasn't good enough, even though that took a lot of effort, just so you know, a lot of uncomfortability, right down there, eyelet hole with 2 fender washers, goes right underneath the grab handle, pull, and that runs right, normally just lays off to the side there and sits right inside this scupper hole. And then to pull it up, there's my grab handle. It's just tied to the neck there, to the shaft. I keep saying neck, it's tied to the shaft. Throw it in there. If you don't want to run bow lights inside of the kayak and wire them in, I picked these little green and red lights up on Amazon, and that's all I use. You just push a button, push your other button, and they're on. You're legal. 100% legal. Shut them off. You're good. I don't use them enough. I don't really fish at night. If you are a night fisherman, by all means, tear it up, drill some holes, make some lights, do your thing, but that's what I use. Now, why I picked a bow mount trolling motor specifically. Your propulsion is going to kind of depend on how you fish. I like fishing bigger lakes. I normally fish offshore. There's a couple times I'll beat the bank and have a good time, but a lot of the times I'm in that 8 to 25 feet of water. There you go. Pinned up. He feels pretty good. Which isn't necessarily deep. I mean, if you're a saltwater guy or way offshore fisherman, if you're on the Great Lakes or the ocean or whatever, that's not that deep. But for bass fishing, what I do, bass, walleye, crappie, that sort of thing, I'm up in the north. We're big, a lot of big walleye guys. I bass fish a lot, but you got to get out there and tear up the walleye when they're biting. But for a lot of what I'm fishing, I like having the spot lock. Oh, there we go. Fish on. This one feels pretty good. No, just a little bitty guy. It says GPS with spot lock, which can get a little rowdy. Slow down before you hit that spot lock button. If you have this sucker wide open throttle, doing about a blistering 4.5, and you hit that spot lock button, it will spin around and stop you and shoot you back the opposite direction insanely fast. Ask me how I know. So slow down before you hit the spot lock button. Drift, if you will, before you hit the spot lock button. So that's why I wanted this. It will not kick up. That is the downfall of the bow mount trolling motor in this configuration. It will not kick up. It is locked solid to your boat. If you hit something, yet again, it will stop you. So it's really not ideal for your shallow water guy, fast moving river stuff. You might want to go with a stern mount with a kick up option. But this fits my style of fishing. I hear a lot of horror stories about the motor guide. The only thing I've had happen with mine is a magnet fell off inside the motor. It was no big deal. Took it to a local guy. He took it apart, glued it together, gave it back to me. $70 later, we were back in business. It's the only big issue I've had with this style trolling motor and with the motor guide in general. I really like it. It scoots along fast enough for me in my boat, which is kind of heavy. Running a lot of, it's more of a tournament rig. I'm running a lot of tackle, live scope, lot of rods. It's heavy, but it still does just over 4.5 miles an hour. So that's fast enough for me. I kind of sacrifice going with the bow mount versus the stern mount. I kind of sacrifice speed for spot lock and maneuverability. I can spin around and it's got GPS. I can spin around, spot lock, turn 180 degrees. I can reverse. You gain maneuverability, kind of based on how you want it. Yeah, if you're looking to get into something like this, I know Motor Guide makes a really good option. Motor Guide. Did I say Motor Guide again? Minn Kota makes a really good option. I was just out with my buddy Kenny the other day. He runs a Minn Kota and seems to really like it. Worked really well for him out of the water. It looks really fancy. We'll see. Time will tell. I've had this on here for about a year now and pounded on it pretty good. Lots of dents and dings in the motor of this thing, nose cone. And that's pretty much that. If you have any other questions for me, hit the like and subscribe button, would you? Just hit the like, subscribe. It's free. It's no big deal. Just pop, pop. Tap those buttons. Let me know you're watching. I know 90% of you aren't hitting that button. So yeah, hit that button. One objective mount, Motor Guide motor, 8 gauge wiring. Anderson plugs, and little Amazon lights. And you're good to go. Have fun out there. Be safe. Catch fish. Comment. Party.